time and space and everything. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We will begin our program in a few minutes. Please take this opportunity to find your seat, silence your phone. I would also like to inform you that the ceremony is being videotaped and a photographer will be fully documenting this exciting evening, so you're able to focus your events completely on this evening. We've sent out a link to all students and to parents for the live stream that's happening currently right now, so please send it to loved ones and friends around the world, and we'll begin shortly. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. If we could take a seat, please. Please make sure your cell phones are silenced. And we can bring down the music. Thank you. Welcome, parents, families, friends, and distinguished guests to the American International School of Jeddah's 14th commencement ceremony honoring the graduating class of 2019. My name is Rick Vandenboom, and I am the high school principal. Please show respect for our graduates and their families by silencing your mobile phones at this time and refrain from talking during the ceremony. A reminder that a professional photographer will be thoroughly documenting this occasion. The collection of photographs as well as the video will be made available to graduates and family members free of cost after the event. Additionally, we ask that you please remain seated during the event. 31 young women, 43 young men, a total of 74 graduates, and tonight we are here to celebrate their graduation from high school, an important rite of passage for the individuals who will soon be seated before you. Please rise for the entrance of our high school faculty and students. Can we have one round of applause for the 20-minute rendition of Pomp and Circumstance by Ned Fortescue and the band? Please be seated. All right, thank you. At this time, I would like to recognize the presence of our guests of honor. When I call your name, if you'd please stand. We have the United States Consul General, Mr. Ryan Gliha. Will members of the AISJ Board of Trustees please stand to be recognized? Members of AISJ's administration, please stand to be recognized. Certainly one of our most important guests this evening is one that is responsible for bringing us all together. The man who has spent 14 years of his career as an educator at the American International School of Jeddah. It was an honor to work with him this year. On behalf of our community, I want to thank you for everything and wish you well during your retirement. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in recognizing our AISJ Superintendent, Mr. Monty Hallberg. The next group of people I'd like to stand would be the high school faculty. Would you please stand? Please stay standing. The dedication of these individuals to our curricular and extracurricular growth of students is truly amazing. It has been an honor and a pleasure to work with this faculty. Please join me in thanking them for their efforts and the support of the class of 2019. Please be seated. While many people were involved with the planning of this ceremony tonight, one woman has spent countless hours behind the scenes to make this commencement possible. Our students, parents, faculty, staff, and administrative team will be forever grateful. In fact, she was the one that pushed to make sure that these risers were done for you tonight. Please help and join me by recognizing Ms. Sarah Thanoon. In addition to the order of events, the names of the classes of 2019 and other accomplishments are listed at the bottom of the program. Will the members of this year's Student Council please stand and be recognized? Please be seated. Will members of the National Honor Society please stand and be recognized? Please be seated. Will students that received honors with a GPA between 3.5 and 3.89 the last 4 years please stand and be recognized? Please be seated. Will students that received high honors with a GPA of 3.9 or higher over the last 4 years please stand and be recognized? Please be seated. And will students that received a university scholarship please stand and be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. Seniors, thank you for arriving on time. Ms. Masali, do we need to mark anybody tardy unexcused for the evening? Well, everyone got that joke. That's good. We'll send everyone an automated report via Renwet fax after this event. Is this really the end? I feel like I just began to get to know you guys. Who am I supposed to be telling to get to class on time next year? Who's going to try and pull pranks at the school next year? The class of 2019, you certainly will be a class that I will not forget. I sincerely want to thank all of you for the warm welcome that you gave me and my family as we began this school year together. This was by far the craziest year in education for all of us, without a doubt, but we made it. However, you were resilient, you were positive, and you embraced every corner that we turned together as a school. You were the first class to do many things, including tonight. You will be the first graduating class at this new campus in this beautiful auditorium. You are also the first senior class that wore thick leather jackets every day, no matter how hot it was outside. How did you do it? Unbelievable, it's amazing. This year you faced so many obstacles, yet you never let it get in your way. You're here tonight. You prevailed. There's a story I'll tell briefly that reminds me of you. One day a farmer is out and the farmhand comes to tell him that an old mule has fallen into the water well. He asks the farmer, how do we get it out? The farmer says, that mule is old, just let it die. So the farmhand goes, he throws dirt on the mule, and the next day he comes back and he tells the farmer, the mule is still there, what should we do? He says, throw some dirt on the mule and let it die. And the next day he comes back and again he sees the mule. So he goes back and he says, how is this happening? How is this happening? He says, I want to go watch how you throw dirt on this mule. So as he goes, he watches, and as he throws dirt on the mule, it shakes it, and it steps up. It shakes it off, and it steps up. And that is exactly what you guys did this year. Every obstacle that you had, you shook it off, and you stood up. You shook it off, and you stood up. And the story goes, as they kept throwing dirt, the mule eventually got out of the well, and it lived. So what's the moral? In life, you rarely get the hand that you expect. Things don't always go your way. But what defines most people is how they react in situations, especially the tough ones. So thanks for proving that to me this year. And when the moments come, remember to shake it off and to step up. At this point, thank you. It's now my pleasure to introduce the Vice President of our Board of Trustees for a few words of welcome. Forrest Young is a longstanding member of the AISJ community who has has children of his own enrolled in the high school, and he serves on our board. Please help me in welcoming to the stage Mr. Forrest Young.
Thanks. I've been a little under the weather, so I'm going to have a little water. It's quite a book. Distinguished guests, proud parents, faculty members, administrators, and above all, our graduating class of 2019. I'm honored to represent our Board of Trustees. Fellow board members, I'm going to again ask you to stand and please be recognized. We have Mr. Talal Sardine, our treasurer. Mr. Yassine Duda, our secretary. Mr. Michael Longhouse, our U.S. consulate representative. Our chairman, Dr. Parvez Khalid, could not be here this evening. He's not standing up, but he couldn't be here this evening. He gives his regards. Hey, board members, it's been a challenging year to say the least, but you know what? We prevailed. I salute you for your tremendous commitment, dedication, and perseverance to serve this great institution. Thank you again. I'll try to keep this brief, kinda. One of the main reasons the board works tirelessly throughout the year is to ensure the success of our graduating seniors. Our goal is to make sure that our students have a solid academic foundation in this year, ever-changing, fast-paced year. Each year, incredibly proud. As I watch the seniors, they walk across the stage, they grab their diploma. Every year I've watched this, and it just makes me so proud. You know, it's all long, late nights, relentless meetings that we've gone through this year. It makes it all worthwhile. Graduates, this is a special night for you. This is all about you. The time to celebrate and your achievements. Every person here in this room, in this auditorium, is here to celebrate you. I'll try to stay closer here. This commencement is a rite of passage. A commencement is not the end, but a new beginning. Today we celebrate the new adventure in life that you're about to begin. Your hard work, dedication, has allowed you to reach a milestone in your journey through life. On behalf of the AISJ Board of Trustees, I congratulate you and wish you all the best. Now, parents, this must be the most joyous occasion, yet bittersweet. Something you've always hoped for, you knew was eventually going to happen, but somehow you kind of dread it at the same time. If you're like me, you still view our children as little sweet kindergartners that you first dropped off at kindergarten 13 years ago. It broke your heart to let them leave you, to have you leave them. It's going to break your heart now to let them leave you. Remember, parents, you have given your graduate an extraordinary gift. By placing significant priority on their education, your support, your encouragement, and your sacrifices have allowed your graduates to reach this momentous milestone. I commend you for a job well done. Teachers and faculty, you're unsung heroes. Truly exceptional teachers inspire students. Your inspiration, your guidance has prepared these graduates for the next step in their lifelong journey of learning. Your commitment to excellence has challenged these graduates to reach academic heights they didn't even think possible. Your dedication to enrich the lives of our students is appreciated. You know, Leonardo da Vinci once said, "Learning is the only thing the mind never exhausts, never fears, and never forgets." Class of 2019, please stand and join me in thanking your family and your teachers with a round of applause, because without their support and dedication, you may not have been able to achieve this milestone. Let's stand up and clap. Okay. They deserve every bit of it. Next, I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to our superintendent, Mr. Monty Hallberg, for his continued support and service throughout the decades, actually, for AISJ. I want to thank our high school principal, Mr. Rick Vandenboom, our vice principal, Ms. Noelle Maselli, for the dedication to ensure another yet successful academic year in spite of the challenges. Thank you very much. You know, as I thought about what I'd tell you tonight, so you kind of lose me here, I wanted to avoid the usual cliches that come along with this once in a while, but I wanted to provide you with a few powerful words of wisdom. You know, on this new journey, while you're away at college, you're going to have choices to make with many different forks along the way. I call them forks in the road. My advice is to make your choices wisely. Your life will actually take shape around these choices that you make. Life is shaped by character, dignity, and kindness, so make your choices accordingly. Always do what's right, because there's never a right time to do what's wrong, if you know what I mean. If you'll just humor me for a moment. A few years ago, I was fortunate enough to hear Lou Holtz speak at an event. Lou Holtz is an American football legend. He's one of the only coaches in the entire history of American collegiate football to consistently win bowl games and produce winners year after year. You know, when he was speaking to us, he had three fundamental components necessary to be successful. It's talent, motivation, and attitude. Your talent determines what you can do, your motivation determines what you do, and your attitude determines how well you do it. You may not know what your talent is yet. It may take some wrong things a few times before you find out what you're passionate about, but you'll find it, I promise you. But once you discover that talent, stay motivated to succeed. Maintain that positive, never give up attitude. By utilizing these few concepts, you'll successfully conquer the goal of living an excellent life. Always seek excellence, not necessarily perfection, but excellence. It's my sincere hope that AISJ has prepared you to make an impact on the world, whether big or small. Nelson Mandela once stated, "Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world." Think about it. I'm going to say it again. Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. Celebrate this milestone and achievement, then continue your lifelong learning and start to make the world a little better place for the next generation. We look forward to hearing of your success in the future, look forward to you being alumni, we'll be in contact, and make us proud. Next, I'd like to introduce Faisal Shaikh. He's our AISJ Student Council President, worked tirelessly to share some of his words of wisdom for the class of 2019. Thank you. Faisal, come on up here. Thank you, Faisal. Take it over.
It's finally here, the day we've long awaited, but it isn't as magical or as happy as we all thought it would be. Right now, in this moment, we're closing a chapter in our lives and moving into a new one where we have the power to write our own story. The best word I've found to describe this momentous occasion is bittersweet. I remember counting down the days before graduation. I remember when we were in elementary and middle school and we'd count down the years before we left and before we were finally finished with school. But while counting down, we forget to live in the moment. We forget that the moment we've all been waiting for is the moment that we'll all be together one last time. The years pass by quickly, don't they? It seems like only yesterday we were all still finding a place in this community. It seems like only yesterday we were all still searching for our identities. I can think back to middle school when I joined my first play. I remember being crammed backstage with dozens of people, our stress going through the roof. We were about to perform for a few hundred people, and the lights went on and the curtains opened. And at that time, in that moment, was the first time I felt like I belonged. It was the first time I felt like I was valued and had a place in this community. For me, it was a play. For some others, it was trying out for the football team. And for others, it was joining their first school club. We've all had these moments where we felt like we finally found our niche, and these moments are important. They're important because they allow us to explore and find out who we are and find our place. However, many times after we found our place, we neglect to remember that we are a part of something bigger. I'd be the first to tell you that I'm guilty of this, that I've forgotten I'm a part of something larger, that I am a part of a class of 74 people you see before you today who are each great in their own way, who each have extraordinary talents across multiple fields. But sitting in the audience tonight are our parents, our aunts and uncles, our grandparents, people who have all seen us as the young children we once were. And no matter how old we become, they'll still see us as the young children we once were. When I look at the graduating class, I don't see teenagers. I see future CEOs, future lawyers, doctors, politicians, and artists. We all have the capability of being who we want to be and finding out where we belong if we just try. I look forward to the day when I open the news and can say, I went to school with that person. Looking at all of you now, I remember the past year and all the hardships that we've been through. I remember individual stories and silly arguments we've had. I remember how mad we would all get at the smallest things. Looking back, that's what made our year special. That's what made us come together, and that's what made us love each other. My earliest memory of being a senior was when we had just created the senior group chat on WhatsApp. We were trying to order senior jackets, and it was just like we'd started World War III on our phones. We'd go to sleep and wake up with hundreds of messages each morning. Let's just hope no one scrolls that far back. That moment was the first time I thought, what have I gotten myself into? And yet, after spending a year with all of you, I want to tell you, you haven't always made it easy, but you've always made it fun. I never thought I would actually be this heartbroken at my own graduation, just thinking that after tonight, we won't be classmates anymore. The people in the audience, though, they're the ones that have to deal with our heartbreak. They're the ones that have really been there from the start, and there is no greater impact that anyone has had on us than our parents, and we are all forever indebted for the sacrifices they've made. To the people who raised us, thank you for teaching us how to walk, how to ride a bike, how to swim. Thank you for taking us to our first soccer practice and attending our concerts and plays. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to meet the people that have become family and allowing them to shape us to who we are today. Now, personally, I want to thank my mother for everything she's done. I can sit here all day and talk about this woman I call mom, but it will never be enough. I'm sure that I'm not the only one that has this feeling of gratitude tonight. It is shared by all of our graduates. Now, parents aren't the only ones that have dealt with us throughout these 4 years of high school. To our siblings, thank you for calling us out when we needed our egos deflated. Thank you for keeping us humble. And to my sister, thank you for being there when I needed you and for being who you are. And to my friends that aren't graduating this year, the juniors in the room, please listen to the words I'm going to say. Your senior year will start. You will blink, and your senior year will be over. Time passes by quickly, so remember to pause and truly experience next year. Remember to order food early during senior ditch day so you're not all sitting there starving. Remember to set the alarm clocks during your senior prank to the correct time so you're not all sitting there waiting for them to go off. To two of my favorite juniors, Maryam and Noor, you've made my years in high school all the more enjoyable. Thank you for being there when I needed you to be, and thank you for always having my back. And to the people who have molded our minds and encouraged us to step out of our comfort zone, Mr. Beerbaum, Mr. Cisco, Miss Kaylee, Miss Suchi, Miss Senna, Miss Eva, Mr. Nadal, Mr. Huner, Mrs. Huner, Mr. Mahani, Miss Duffner, and Miss Muhiba. Thank you. To Miss Dima, Miss Sarah, and Miss Karen, we haven't always made it easy for you, but I speak on behalf of the seniors one last time tonight when I say we recognize all that you do and we appreciate you for all the extra hours you put in. We'd also like to apologize for the amount of tardy passes we've made you write this year. Finally, thank you to Mrs. Masalli and Mr. Vandenboom for giving us a challenge this year. I hope we've risen to it. And now, there are many more people I'd like to thank tonight, but unfortunately, I'm on a time crunch. Ending this, probably one of the last times I speak in front of you, I just want to say I would never want to graduate with anyone else. I would never trade in the memories, good or bad, that we've had for anything else. I will miss all of you. You have become a family over the past year, and nothing can replace the bonds we've made. Knowing all of you, I can say that I have family all around the world. And with that, I'd like to leave you all thinking about where your place is in the community we've built today, thinking about what you've done with your time here. And in the future, do you want to continue living as if you were waiting for something else? Or do you want to live in the moment and enjoy your life? Thank you. And next, I'd like to introduce my dear friend who's gifted at making poorly timed jokes. Please help me welcome to the podium, Mohammed Abadi.
Oh my jibne, this is bigger than I thought. The class of 2019 is very distinct. It encompasses a variety of personalities and characters which are unique in their own peculiar way. Today I'm taking the time to give you a heads up or forewarning in the event you come to encounter any of us in the future. If you ever get on a plane and hear, sorry for the inconvenience, but the captain is running late, just bear with the delay, because it's either going to be Karim Nahle or Adham. And it's nothing out of the ordinary. If you're looking for a SAT tutor, then Faz Ghandour is your man. In fact, if you look at him now, he's most probably still studying for the test. If you're ever in town and you're feeling tired or you're just a coffee enthusiast, ask about Abdullah al-Karathi. He's an expert, especially in the cafeteria's iced coffee. Looking for someone to lead a protest or debate? Talin and Jude Shihab have your back. However, beware, because you might find yourself entangled in some unrelated drama. Want a lawyer? Then our class has Rama. Want to buy a dog? Sarah Ali's dog farm is the place to go. A political leader? Faisal Shaikh and Zakaria will most probably be running for a government position in the near future. However, in Faisal's case, he first has to leave his bed in the morning. If you ever find someone asleep where they shouldn't be, it's either going to be Gabe or Haya. If you're a football fan, keep an eye out for Dodo and Ma'moon. If you enjoy listening to hip-hop, then Michael Dorning and Albar Slim can drop bars. If you're into the modern, eccentric, and bizarre fashion, then we give you Maya Helmi. If you find yourself shopping for a Lexus, you'll probably find Mizian taking pictures there. Suppose you find yourself in a fight, and you're looking for backup. Give Ajdani and Mishal a call. They have been practicing for years, and they'll also bring along an audience of Bakri, Matawi, and Amoudi. We also have a food expert in Muhammad Bukshan, who will, who will hopefully use his experience to open his own restaurant, and maybe even a shawarma place with Benjamin. If you ever find yourself conversing about or recommending a basketball camp, then remember that Babakar, Balut, and Zabalawi will probably be working with Mo Handels or some other basketball camp. If you want to laugh, then find Bak and Carlos. If you're into women supporting art, find Rawan, Yara, and Sarah. If you're ever feeling down, just remember that Audi and Abdullah Yusuf are barely passing, but are still graduating with us today. However, the class of 2019 is not only comprised of individual talents and qualities. The class of 2019 collectively can provide everyone with some valuable lessons. For example, if you want to solve discrimination and political complications, you can assign Mr. Beerbaum to give you assignments. You have my word, people will unite to complain. Or simply let Mr. Cisco vocalize his wisdom. Our class differs from all the other classes that I've witnessed throughout my years in school. Even though we, like all other years, are composed of a diverse mixture of culture and personalities. And we did have our problems. However, at the end of the day, there was always love between us. And I believe this is a quality that everyone should take from the class of 2019. Now I'm going to tell you the story of how I broke my leg and lost all hope. And then while laying in the hospital bed, I realized that I can make my speech about it. Just kidding. Esteemed guests, beloved teachers, and dearest parents, thank you for joining us on this wonderful commemoration of the past 4 years. The elemental journey of our lives has come to an end, and would have never been possible without the guidance of our teachers. They spent long hours designing the curriculum for us to sleep in class. All jokes aside, teachers are the most underrated people when it comes to influencing our lives. Ahmad Shawqi said it best in Abu Needs' class. Stand for the teacher and honor his rank, for a teacher is almost as a prophet. Do you know of someone nobler than he who nurtures minds and hearts? However, the paramount attribution goes to the gorgeous parents who have always been giving their all for the sake of our success and comfort. The patience they possess is unmatchable, considering that we're still graduating from AISJ after Mr. Monty's emails at the beginning of the year. Each and every one of us is fortunate and privileged to have been gifted with parents that provide us with more than what we need and deserve. The great Ali Abadi, my father, always told me that I will never understand the love of a parent to his child until I become a parent myself. Only then will I fathom all the sacrifices parents go through. For that, we are forever grateful and will not disappoint. Mama, I love you 3,000. And, and Firas, my brother, I wish you can be here with me, but don't worry, see you soon, Habibi Michael. To avoid prolonging, I'm going to leave all of you wondering what would have happened if you hadn't all met, and if Jon Snow became king. As per tradition, we're going to take a senior selfie. Next, we have the people that can actually sing from our class, the choir students with Mr. Van Dyke. Please stand up.
memories that never die. We say goodbye, we hold on tight to these memories that never die. We have had the time of our lives, and now the pages turn, stories we will write. We have had the time of our lives, and I will not forget the faces left behind. It's hard to walk away from the best of days, but if it has to end, I'm glad you have been my friend in the time of our lives.
But if it has to end, I'm glad you have been my friend.
In the time of our lives.
The Salutatorian is a student in the senior class with the second highest GPA. And as you will soon see, this student possesses a drive, passion, and maturity that will continue to push him to the top of the pile. I'm proud to introduce to you our 2019 Salutatorian, Abdullah Yusuf.
Honorable guests, faculty, parents, and the class of 2019. I'm honored to be a graduation speaker. Fun fact, I've been a student at AISJ since January 2004. This year marks my 15th year at AISJ. It feels weird for me to leave a place where I've spent the majority of my life, a place where I made many wonderful memories. AISJ will always hold a special place in my heart, especially because of all the wonderful people I met at my time here. While I'm not the oldest or the most experienced person here, I want to share with my fellow members of the class of 2019 and those graduating after me a few lessons I learned throughout my life. My first lesson is about following your heart. At the beginning of my freshman year, I became a part of the school student council. I was a representative for the 9th grade. I worked in many student council events and spent time after school dedicated to the organization. By the end of the year, the other student council representative dropped out and had the perfect opportunity to advance up the hierarchy. People told me about the benefits student council would bring to my college applications. They talked to me about standing out from my peers, but I realized student council had different goals than I did. Our dreams were different. It didn't feel right for me to continue as a student council member, so naturally, I left. Eventually, by not being a member of the student council, I had the opportunity to join and lead multiple clubs, as well as work on my goal of serving mankind. Over the past 3 years, my friends and I raised thousands of riyals for cancer research, local Syrian refugees, the needy, and publishing a student creed magazine. Following your heart is important. Without it, you'll never have a connection to your work. Though it may be daunting, following your heart will lead you to what's better. You just have to trust in it and make the right choice. Because if you do something that doesn't appeal to you on a deep level, you'll never be able to do that thing well. My second lesson is about risk. At the end of my freshman year, I had to choose which courses to take for the following year. I had to fill out the same course registration sheet the counseling office makes students do each year. I was heavily contemplating whether or not I should take AP Physics 1, which is notoriously known as the most difficult course in the entire high school. I knew I wanted to study physics, but I wasn't sure whether AP Physics 1 would be the right physics to take. I asked my friends and members of previous graduating classes. The responses were mostly negative. Most people told me not to take the class as a sophomore, yet I wasn't satisfied. I scrolled through numerous websites like College Confidential, trying to figure out what I should do. I never got a clear yes or no answer, so I decided to roll the dice. I took a risk. I was unsure whether I would even be moderately successful. Well, I took AP Physics 1, and I never regretted it. I did so well in the class that I earned the highest score in AP Physics 1 at the time, higher than ever before. Risk is important. You cannot excel to new heights without taking some risks. Failure is inevitable. Everyone fails. It's not about how many times you fail, but how many times you get back up. The risk you take will open new doors for you, waiting to be explored. My third lesson is about working hard. I have a near perfect score on the SAT, but I didn't get it like magic. I spent 6 months studying for the SAT. Every day, I would spend 1 hour solving SAT questions, and every weekend, I would allocate some time to take a full SAT practice test. I didn't enjoy doing this. In fact, I was on the verge of giving up several times. But eventually, after each practice test, my highest score rose and rose. Eventually, I practiced so much that I could get nearly every single question correct without taking lots of time. Nothing is easy. Getting from point A to point B requires some tedious, unenjoyable work. Muhammad Ali once said, "I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion." You can't get those six-packs if you don't work out every day. You can't get those perfect grades if you don't spend lots of time studying. You can't get an amazing social life if you don't meet new people or hang out with your friends often. I know, it's hard. But if any of you want to achieve or attain something, anything, then be prepared to bear the work for it. Otherwise, you'll never get that six-pack. You'll never get those perfect grades, and you'll never have an amazing social life. If you follow your heart, if you take risks, if you work hard and never give up, then I guarantee you'll live in happiness because you'll never have any regrets. Even if things don't work out, if something unexpected happens, the best thing to do is not to lament over why this or that happened, but to keep moving forward, unhindered like the rock you truly are. Ladies and gentlemen of the class of 2019, I want to thank you all for an amazing 4 years at the best high school in Saudi Arabia. Keep grinding, you beasts. Thank you. I want to invite to the podium my best friend, who I've known since 3rd grade, Lazwardi Al-Yunaldi.
Welcome, parents, families, teachers, honored guests, and of course, the class of 2019. Woo! Right. Okay. Class, I want all of us to take a moment right now to just thank our families for all their sincere support they've given throughout their lives. Our siblings, grandparents, uncles, relatives, but most importantly, our parents. And class, I also want us to take a moment to give thanks to our wonderful teachers right here, definitely. Honestly, I couldn't have done it with my parents, my mom and my loving dad. I thank you so much for everything. And my brother for telling me always to do your best, even though you're gonna fail, but here I am. And I wanna give a shout out special to some of my friends, Zach, Walid, and Abdullah for being there with me since 2nd grade. Oh, thank you guys so much. I wanna thank Babakar, Mizian, Carlos, and also Hersey for making me laugh for a while. Yeah. And I want to thank Therese, Hessa, and my Allison and my Yanbu crew for giving me the best end of this year. Thank you, guys. So anyways, sidetrack. Seniors, congratulations. You have diligently sacrificed 12 or so years of your life to receive one awesome sheet of white paper with your name on it. Woo! You did it. Yeah. But hold your horses. We still have to wait until a little bit until you get that diploma or until Mr. Monty makes it official. So in the meantime, as you try to patiently hold the urge to run off to the bathroom or fall asleep from boredom or go partying afterwards, yes, Ms. Yen, I know you will, I was instructed on May 20th to say a few inspirational words on behalf of our class. And so, like any sensible person, I went on Google and searched up how to write an inspirational graduation speech. Don't worry, I didn't use Wikipedia at all. Just some lyrics from Drake and Kanye, definitely. And unsurprisingly, I took a break and a nap and watched YouTube and eventually started working on it yesterday. Yeah, I'm a chronic procrastinator here. And I'm not surprised at all that Faisal finished before me. Woo, thank God. But it was during a shower break where it hit me. How many of you here sings in the shower? You can raise your hand if you want. Do you guys sing in the shower? Awesome. You know, like that's the interesting thing. The shower is the best place to sing out loud and proud without anyone cringing or judging your amazing voice. But truth be told, most people love to sing their favorite tunes, whether it's rock, hip-hop, country, Billie Eilish, Ed Sheeran, or Travis Scott. And for the old hearts, Beatles and Queen, of course. Each of these artists have a totally different voice, a different sound, a different style, and story that radiates their own life. Fellow graduate, each one of you are unique singers and currently singing your own special song, the song of your life. So, how will you sing your song? Now, you might have experienced a time where you're jamming out with your friends and buddies, and you felt that you sound so beautiful in your head, only to discover the horror and agony in your friend's face when you look at them. Choir, not everyone sings as beautiful as you guys, but yeah. But however, singing is something that you can totally learn. I have a story about a student here in the school. His name is Rayan Rizwan, and he came to the school shy and quite alone. I still remember when he auditioned for the talent show 2 years ago, where he wanted to perform a Michael Jackson piece. At that time, his singing voice only brought laughter to other people. Yet, although he was a novice in singing, he did something truly inspirational. With all the negativity incoming, he dedicated his heart and soul into improving his voice and staying after school every single day with Mr. Van Dyke. I would see him practice and practice and practice, and slowly his singing skills gradually improved, and he was able to discern the different pitches. And just the other night in the talent show, after 2 years of being ridiculed, he showed the world what he can do. If you were there that night, Michael Jackson was right inside of Rayan's soul, and he made a heck of a performance. But through him, I saw the dedication, the passion, and time and heart he placed in music. And there, I saw that he succeeded. And that's the misconception of success in one song. You don't need to be the top 100 charts to be successful. You can still be the most underrated track and still be successful because success is not a specific number. So many times we look and compare numbers where we forget what actually is important. We compare each other based on grade percentages, on our income, the amount of material possessions we have. Yet what's more important is the impact we make towards ourselves, the people around us, and the surrounding too. Even though that I am here as the valedictorian and I have the highest grade point average, I know that there are many of you here that are more hardworking than I am. And honestly, that trait is more important and what drives someone to succeed in their life, in their song. So focus not on getting that number of being that top 100%. Focus not on the amount of ace you get, but the magnitude of knowledge you learn. Count not the amount of bills you have in your pocket, in your wallet, but the numbers of smiles you make on others' faces every single day. And count not the amount of times you failed, but count the amount of times you got up and put yourself up and try again. Because the only thing limiting you from success is not trying. Now, my dad always tells me that you should work hard before and then play later. But I think that if you're having fun while doing whatever you want, the truly desired thing that you desire, you're going to have fun along the way and succeed too. And some of you here might have already a goal in life. Some of you will be the greatest model ever, Carlos, yes. And some of you might also become one of those people who are and some of you also might marry the richest husband ever and buy designer bags every single month. And some of you might marry a wife or two or three, who knows. So go ahead. If you want to become an engineer, a president, if you want to become a doctor, just go and seek for it. And the best part of this is that you have the choice to decide what you want to be, what you really want. You are the singer of your show and the star of your own show. And you might tell yourself, I don't really know what I want to be or what I'm passionate about. And that's okay. Rupi Kaur once wrote, you don't just wake up and become a butterfly. Growth is a process. Things might change, but what's for sure is if you push through things, things will work out. And whether you take a gap year or go to university, it is this time where you get a chance to explore what you want to do in your life, to find your passion, to see what will bring meaning to this life of yours, this song of yours. Find this drive. And whether your song will be long, short, melodic, or anything, it's your song. You are in control, and you can make it whatever you want. For me, my initial song was about to create a robot that could help my mom so she can spend more free time doing something else. Basically, a robot helper. But the plan changed to wanting to help more of this world in terms of hunger. My dream now is to create a robot that can farm and make enough food to end world hunger. Although ambitious, I feel that if you push towards it, you could always do anything. So whatever your dream is, seek for it and work hard for it. So here is to the writers, the football players, the basketball athletes, the makeup gurus, the fashionitas, the film reviewers, the meme reviewers, the drama lovers, movie lovers, sneakerheads, quiet heads, gamers, every one of you. Know that you have the keys of your life in your hand. Know that right now you're holding that mic and making that performance. So make your song count. You're on the stage right now, and you only have one chance to perform your song of your life. Make this the best performance that people will remember. So seniors, how will you sing your song? Thank you. And now, each year, the senior class votes on a teacher to speak on their behalf. At this time, I would like to call up to stage that teacher, a great mentor, an English teacher, and also a meditator, Mr. Jake Beerbaum.
First, I'd like to thank my wonderful colleagues. It's hard being a teacher sometimes, and you guys make it much easier. You help every day, and I don't think we ever talk to appreciate us enough, so thank you guys. Secondly, thank you to the parents for giving us the opportunity to work with your children. I've enjoyed the opportunity to get them to know them more over the past 5 years, to see them grow into these people you see sitting before us today. I still remember the first time I saw Dodo show up to the U14 basketball tryout and proceed to run up and down the court while wearing a backwards baseball cap. I remember middle school Faisal Shaikh yelling directions to high school students during Oz. I remember Zaid throwing a basketball directly over his head and celebrating with both confusion and awe as it went through the hoop. I remember Dawood's game-winning buzzer beater. I remember that in 9th grade, Rawan was enrolled in my advisory for all of one day. I remember Mohammed Bugshan sliding into the classroom to announce his arrival. He was most likely tardy, but man, was it an entrance. I remember so many events from the last 5 years with all of you. I wish I had the time to tell a story about each and every one of you. I remember the faces of the students who left us before this day, and I've appreciated getting to know all of the faces that joined us along the way. Parents, I'm sure you still have the image of your children in diapers and the proud and sometimes bittersweet memory of when they started to walk. Time is a funny thing. 4 years of high school can fly by in the blink of an eye, and grading one 10-minute Beowulf presentation can feel like an eternity. As human beings, we have an obsession with time. You can ask any student arriving 5 minutes late to first period about the value of their time, or you can consult the history of literature that is jam-packed with references to the importance of time. Dr. Seuss humorously asked, "How did it get so late so soon?" Mitch Albom reminded us that one day spent with someone you love can change everything. Tolkien wrote, "All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us." It has been proven time and time again that we love thinking about time. We have even created common expressions around this idea, like time is of the essence, take a time out, time flies when you are having fun, or this is the time of our lives. Sometimes it is just an annoying English teacher continuing to harp on the importance of time management. But don't worry, graduates, this speech isn't about that, or not entirely. You see, for 4 years, I've been launching long-winded speeches to these students on everything from how their actions define who they are, to extended metaphors about carrying their books. And for some strange reason, they still chose me to give one last speech today. So tonight, for a few minutes, I want to ask you to consider the enigma of time. In the novel Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, the title character engages in a debate with the much older Edward Rochester. He says, "I claim only such superiority as must result from 20 years difference in age and a century's advance in experience." And the main point of her reply is that superiority depends on the use you have made of your time and experience. This has always been one of my favorite lines of the entire novel, because it blatantly states that time isn't what is important. I think we have all sat through a certain meeting or class or dinner that has proven to us that 2 hours can be a complete waste of our time. So I say again, time isn't what is important. How we use our time is what matters. This does not mean that you should do nothing but schoolwork. It doesn't mean you should do everything but schoolwork. It means that you should take the time to consider your choices. It means you need to make the most of the time you have. And each and every person in this room today gets to decide what that means for themselves. The possibilities are endless, but the time you have to do them is not. We often use the word later. I will do it later. I will write my book later. I will practice singing later. I will remember to check in with my parents later. I will do what makes me happy later. I prefer the word now. Hug your best friend now. Learn to play the guitar now. Spend time with your parents now. You can't get a refund on your time. You can't have a do-over with time. You only get that time once, and then it's gone. We've all experienced loss, friends and classmates and relatives who are no longer with us today. We don't know when life will throw us that curveball. We can't always control everything that happens. We learn the value of the things we have from the value of the things we have lost. So today I urge you, all of you, not just the graduates, to figure out what is important to you. Faith, family, friendship, education, your career, traveling the world, or helping those in need. Make your choices and find the time for what matters now. Make it so that each day you are actively choosing the path to success, the path to happiness, the path to a life of fulfillment. Use your time so that in 4 years, when many of you are again walking across a stage, about to begin the next stage of your life, you can take the time to reflect on the choices you made and the choices you didn't make, and you can truly understand the beauty of this life that we were given. And always remember, do not waste time. Be careful how you spend time. Always make the most of time. Grab hold of the time you have. Enjoy your time, because this time, right now, is all you are guaranteed. It is displayed in my classroom, and I hope all of you have learned a new appreciation for Emily Dickinson's advice. Forever is composed of nows. Make each and every one of your nows matter. Graduating class of 2019, your time is now. Thank you. And now I would like to welcome to the front of the stage some of our senior class students and Mr. Nadal as they sing a song that I am unable to pronounce.
Thank you so much for that wonderful song. Good evening, everyone. My name is Noel Musalli, and I'm the assistant principal here at the high school. Every year, we recognize a few select students that have attended AISJ continuously since kindergarten or even earlier. We call them our most senior seniors. So students, please stand and remain standing as I call your name. With us since kindergarten, Zachary Abu, Sarah Ali, Faris El-Ajlani, Samantha Harris, Burju Unal, and with us since pre-kindergarten, Bersian Blaine, Yada Maqsood, Ma'moon Murad, Faisal Shaikh, Ali Tajuddin, Lillian Tawfiq Hassan, Abdullah Yusuf. Now with us since nursery, Luna Adhami, Yara El-Famali, Dawood Balut, Ahmed Matawi, and Zaid Zabalawi. Thank you all and congratulations. Your contributions to AISJ are truly remarkable. You may be seated. Thank you.
I would like to invite to the stage Dr. Zaharan for the presentation of the Dr. Zaharan Scholarship. Each year, the Dr. Zaharan Scholarship is awarded to the student who demonstrates a strong work ethic, good citizenship and character, involvement in school activities, strong leadership qualities, potential to achieve success, and has a motivation to make positive changes in the school or greater community. This year's recipient met all the criteria and has big plans to impact all of humanity after receiving his degree from university. He's participated or volunteered in nearly all the events at AISJ, volunteered teaching computer skills to underprivileged students at the Indonesian school in Jeddah, and has had a positive impact on all things AISJ. In his own words, he says, if selected, he would do the following. My plan is to use the knowledge I have gained there to create automated robotic system that can automatically plant, nurture, and harvest crops that humans can eat without the need for manual labor. Eating is a basic human need, and it saddens me to know that there are many who are barely able to get a small plate on their table. Thus, I want to help my brothers and sisters around the globe who face food shortages and starvation, especially in underdeveloped areas, and improve food security and eliminate global hunger with the help of my future innovation. Please help me in congratulating Lazarati Rinaldi as this year's recipient of the Dr. Zaharan Scholarship. I don't know if we can cash that check now. We'll find out. All right, here we go. It is now my pleasure to introduce a man who needs no introduction. This is a gentleman you all know by name, a man who eats, sleeps, breathes, and bleeds AISJ. He's the man who got us here at the brand new campus and helps us fulfill our dreams of having a school of the future. He's delivering his final speech in this auditorium as superintendent. Ladies and gentlemen, our superintendent, Mr. Monty Hallberg.
Thank you. For those of you that don't know Dr. Osama Zaharan, he was a board member here in 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007. It was at a time where the school was given up by Saudi Arabian Airlines, and the future of the school was at risk. And he kept it together, and he helped develop the school, and he was the type of guy that you'd find him working on campus at 11 o'clock at night or 12 o'clock at night or 1300 in the afternoon. He's a great man, so I appreciate the scholarship that you've given. It's been named after you for a number of years, so thank you, Dr. Osama Zahran. Thank you. This is a special evening for many reasons. The senior class of 2019, as I said, is seated up here on stage as making history tonight. They, as the class of 2019, are, and you will always be, the first class to graduate from our new AISJ campus. The school history goes back to 1952. There was the first school in a villa outside of Ballot. So actually, this is the 66th class of our school going back a number of years. The first one was outside of Ballot in a villa. The second campus was on a TWA compound. TWA was called Trans World Airlines. They came over here to help Saudia getting their airlines going, and that was just northwest of Ballot. Thirdly, the PCS campus became the third campus, and that was in Al Rawais. The fourth and most recent campus was in Al Zahra, the one we just moved from, and now our new campus in Muhammadiyah. This was our beginning back then. So graduates, there's been over 6,000 graduates that have received diplomas from this institution. Whether it was at the campus of PCS, or called Saudia SIS, or AISJ, what's important for you to know that you will always be the first, and there'll be 6,000 graduates that will follow you here as graduates after 2019 over the next 30 years. What this historical is about tonight, you will always be the first graduating class of the American School of Jeddah. Our mission statement is something that's dear to my heart. It was created by some of you. It was created by 25 members of a core planning team of strategic planning. And it gives us our reason for existing. It gives us our purpose. It goes like this. Our mission is to inspire and facilitate learners through an authentic American education in order to nurture their passion for knowledge so they may pursue their dreams and become successful global citizens. My favorite part of that mission statement is so they may pursue their dreams and become successful global citizens. That's the end. That's the ultimate goal. We want you to reach your dreams. For those that know me, I'm a big advocate for creating a dream or creating a vision of what you want and go after it, especially one that is grounded in your passion and reasonableness. Declare your dream. Write it down. Post it on Facebook, Instagram. Post it in your room. Post it on your refrigerator. When you do that, once you declare it, there's a gap of where you are and where you want to go. A gap between where you are now and where your dream is. And you have to fill this gap. You have to fill it with research, with plans, with action, with strategic actions. Another benefit of declaring it, you'll find that hundreds and dozens of people and organizations will often come to your side to help you reach that dream. 6 years ago, the board hired me to bring calm to the school, to give the school direction. With our strategic plan, and we embraced a dream of creating a new school, that would be considered one of the best facilities and educational experience a child could ever have. That was a dream. Create a school that students love to attend every day, a school that you find caring teachers, a school that looking to nurture your passion for knowledge, a place where school pride could be seen on every student's face. I bought into this dream, and my heart and passion captured in this project. Colin Powell once said, "A dream doesn't become reality through magic. It takes sweat and determination and hard work." These words were so true, and I believe they are true in every success story. They were true in building this school. We were living proof of this during the formation and development of this school. Walt Disney believed that all of our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. It takes courage to overcome the fear of failure. It is so very important to know that this fear of failure is the one thing that makes a dream impossible to achieve. The school had tried on many occasions, once, twice, 3 times, to build a school. But we didn't give up. We had the courage to try and try again and pursue our dream of building a new school. We did, and we did it. And you see the result here in this auditorium and this beautiful school. Abraham Lincoln once said, "The best way to predict your future is to create it." So I challenge all of you to create your future, declare your dream, have your own personal strategic plan, and create your own future. Graduates, you are just beginning your adult life, and some of you may know what you want to do, and others are still formulating their dreams and goals. That's okay if you don't know. You'll formulate it as you continue to experience and develop your brain. I spent a total of 14 years in this school. It brings me the luxury of seeing prior graduates sit in this graduate chairs and dream about their future. William Chen sat here 29 years ago, and he dreamed. He was a graduate. William Chen, graduate from the University of California. William Chen now graduated with a PhD from Harvard, and he works at Harvard Medical School. Maria Khalid was sitting in his chairs 4 years ago. She went to Penn University and is now majoring in business administration and finance. And she was selected 1 out of 200 candidates to be chosen as an intern on Wall Street Stock Exchange in New York. Malia Hashmi sat here dreaming 23 years ago and went on to be a graduate from Harvard Law School and is now a law professor at Harvard. The sign in our main lobby, if you walk out there, says AISJ, where dreams begin. This is my last story, and I hope this is meaning for our graduates. I think about dreams. I know Abdullah and Yaz, Abdullah's going to Johns Hopkins University, and I think Mr. Rinaldi's going to Georgia Tech, and we have some great colleges that we're going to be going to. So this is my last story, and I hope it has meaning for our graduates. I'm completing my 6th year in tour in Jeddah, and this is where I was once before, beginning in 1983. I came to Jeddah as a young teacher. When my wife and my young 2 children, I left my home in the USA, I didn't know anyone in Jeddah, but was on an adventure, not knowing my outcomes or final destination. That's you now. You're about to leave, and you're about to go on somewhere where you don't know what's going to happen over the next years. I wanted to see the world. I wanted to learn about different cultures. I wanted to meet new people. I was simply throwing my dreams into the winds of the world, and I didn't know what these dreams will bring to my future. They bring a new life, a new friend, a new passion, a new love, or even a new country. I found it all. I found a new life of great places, new activities, and worldly people. I found new friends and lifelong friends. I found a new passion of love of education, the old and new AISJ. I found new countries that I admire. All of my children attended this school, all 4 of them. Jeddah is part of my life, part of my family. It'll always be part of my heart. As most of you knew, yeah, thank you. As most of you know, like the graduates sitting before me, this will be my last year here at AISJ. As you graduates, as graduates, you will sail into the sunrise, and I shall sail into the sunset. Both are beautiful, and both are exciting. Both are transitions into new places. Both of those are going to raise your anxiety levels because you don't know what's ahead. Join me in holding on to a message written by C.S. Lewis for our new chapter of life with his message, "You are never too old to set another goal or dream a new dream." I'm dreaming of new dreams like you, the graduates of 2019. I hope to see your dreams become reality. May God be with you and bless you.
Well, should we do some more speeches, or is it time for those diplomas? All right, here we go. Here we go. Okay, I would like to invite our readers to the stage, Mohammed Shadri and Ibrahim Abu, please. Ms. Masali, Mr. Hallberg, Mr. Mahani, Mrs. Schuner, and Mr. Forrest Young, please come forward for the presentation of diplomas. It is our tradition that faculty, staff, and board members be given the opportunity of personally presenting diplomas to their son or daughter. And you notice that tonight we may have a few diploma presenters with us tonight.
Audience, please note that we will announce the names of schools to which students will matriculate in September. We will note students as undecided who are still awaiting final acceptance letters based on later college and university acceptance deadlines, or that operate on a different academic calendar year. Will the first row please rise and move to the stage? Muhammad Abadi, attending American University of Beirut in Lebanon. Hassa Abdul Manaf, attending Sunway University of Malaysia. Muhammad Abdul Baqi, attending Purdue University of USA. Zakaria Abu, attending Georgetown University of Qatar. Luna Adhami. She's undecided but applying to Germany universities. Umar Al-Husseini, attending Concordia University in Canada. Rafal Al-Aqili, attending American University of Beirut in Lebanon. Faris Al-Ajlani, attending Nottingham University in the UK. Ahmed Al-Amoudi, undecided. Hussein Al-Bakri, attending Sheffield University in the UK. Sultan Al-Haddad, attending Florida Institute of Technology in the USA. Ibrahim Al-Hashani, undecided. Nawaf Al-Hibshi, attending Kaplan University in the UK. Bayan Al-Hindi, attending Treasure Coast Flight Training in the USA. Sara Ali, attending Ohio State University in the USA. I know. Abdullah Al-Karethi, attending University of London in the UK. Rama Al-Khatatbe, attending Concordia University in Canada. Leanne Al-Mawajde, attending University of Ottawa in Canada.
Will the first row please be seated? Will the second row please rise and move to the stage? Would everyone please hold their excitement and claps until after the university is announced? Thank you. Yusuf Al-Mizian, going to Pennsylvania State University in the USA. One more time, guys, can we please hold applause until after the university is announced? Thank you. Nora Al-Suraihi, undecided. Genius. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Renad Al-Wasmi. Yara Al-Thumali. Going to Swansea University in the UK, Benjamin Arsalan. Going to the Anglia Ruskin University in the UK, Amir Aidar. Presented by Sophia Aziz, Elementary School faculty member, Westminster University of the UK, Aisha Aziz. Going to the University of Ottawa, Canada, Mohammed Babakar. Daoud Balut. Going to George Mason University in the USA, Haya bin Mahfouz. Iyad Bukhshan. Going to City University of London in the UK, Mishal Bukhshan. Going to City University of London in the UK, Muhammad Bukhshan. Going to Nottingham University of the UK, Jude Shihab. Presented by his father, Donovan, and in the elementary school faculty member, Michael Dorney. Presented by her mother, Amal Bakr, middle school admin member. Going to Northumbria University of the UK, Sarah Al-Bakr. Someone's excited. Gabriel Farghali. Going to the University of Nicosia in Greece, Zaid Farhan.
Will the second row please be seated? Will the third row please rise and move to the stage? Ryo Fukamaki. Attending Bard College in Germany, Carlos Vicente Cruz Herman. Attending University of Manchester in the UK, Faris Ghandour. Berjian Hablain. Attending University of California, Susan Hamami. Applying to Missouri State University in the USA, Samantha Harris. Attending Sheffield University in the UK, Abdurrahman Hassan. Maya Helmi. Abdul Nasser Hersey. presented by his mother, Teresa Kamel, middle school faculty member, and attending the Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in the USA, Adham Kamel. Attending Sunway University in Malaysia, Therese Karunathalaka. Usman Khan. Attending Ohio State University in the USA, Zainab Khan. Attending University of Amsterdam in the Netherlands, Ji-won Kim. Attending University of Massachusetts in the USA, Osama Linjawi. Yara Maksood. Kareem Ma'sarani. Attending University of Massachusetts in the USA, Ahmed Matawi'.
May the third row please be seated. May the fourth row please rise and move to the stage. Going to King's College in London in the UK, Abdullah Mayat. Going to the University of Washington in the USA, Indodek Muhammad. Presented by his mother, Bushra Murad, elementary school faculty member. Applying to Germany, Ma'moon Murad. Going to the McMaster University in Canada, Zareen Moeed. Going to Concordia University in Canada, Kareem Nahla. Nuruddin Nawar. Rawan Nusayr. Going to Georgia Tech University in the USA, Lazuardi Rinaldi. Going to Agnes Scott University in the USA, Anam Salman. Going to San Diego State University in the USA, Taleen Salman. Allison Scott. Abdulaziz Sharbatli. Here comes my president, Faisal Shaikh. Waleed Smith. Going to the University of Toronto in Canada, Yesam San. Going to the American University of Sharjah, UAE, Ali Tajuddin. Going to Gulf Medical University, UAE, Lillian Tawfiq Hassan. Going to the University of Riga in the Netherlands, Burju Unal. Going to Johns Hopkins University in the USA, Abdullah Yusuf. Going to American University of Sharjah in UAE, Zaid Zabalawi.
With the fourth row, please be seated.
Immediately following the ceremony, we would like to invite all of you to join the graduates in our reception area right outside these stairs. We have food and coffee. The reception is sponsored by the lounge at Orem. The auditorium will remain open for families to take pictures on the stage afterwards. Are you ready? Oh, come on. Graduates, please rise. Mr. Hallberg, please join me at the podium. Mr. Hallberg, the members of this class have satisfactorily completed the course of study as prescribed by the Board of Trustees of the American International School of Jeddah.
Thank you, Mr. Vanderboom. It's my honor and pleasure as superintendent to receive these students and declare the 2019 senior class of the American International School of Jeddah officially graduated. As a sign of your passage from students to graduates, I now ask you to turn your tassels from the right to the left. It is with pride and great pleasure, parents, faculty, honored guests, that I present to you the class of 2019. Thank you.
Once upon a younger year, when all our shadows disappeared, the animals inside came out to play. Went face to face with all our fears, learned our lessons through the tears, made memories we knew would never fade. One day my father, he told me, son, don't let it slip away. He took me in his arms, I heard him say, when you get older, your wild heart will live for younger days. Think of me if ever you're afraid. He said one day you'll leave this world behind, so live a life you will remember. My father told me when I was just a child, these are the nights that never die. My father told me. Fire they can't put out, carve your name into those shining stars. He said go venture far beyond the shores, don't forsake this life of yours. I'll guide you home no matter where you are. One day my father, he told me, son, don't let it slip away. When I was just a kid I heard him say, when you get older your wild heart will live for younger days. Think of me if ever you're afraid. He said one day you'll leave this world behind, so live a life you will remember. My father told me when I was just a child, these are the nights that never die. My father told me. These are the nights that never die. My father told me. Upon a younger year, when all our shadows disappeared, the animals inside came out to play. Went face to face with all our fears, learned our lessons through the tears, made memories we knew would never fade. One day my father, he told me, son, don't let it slip away. He took me in his times I heard him say, when you get older, your wild heart will live for younger days. Think of me if ever you're afraid. He said one day you'll leave this world behind, so live a life you will remember. My father told me when I was just a child, these are the nights.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long